So it's our interview. Okay, you speak. I'm gonna close my pie hole.
Okay. All right, we are on. We are live in 2 different places. We are live on our Zoom, on our Facebook page. You're perfect. And we are live on Queen Yvonne's Facebook page as well. I am joined here today by my beautiful sister, Queen Yvonne. We are live.
I'm here with my boss.
Boss babe, boss bitch babe. We carry different names.
Yes.
In beautiful Playa del Carmen. So it's an amazing surprise to have found each other. We had planned to meet, and then we ended up meeting a little bit early this week just by total synchronicity and serendipity.
It freaks me out. But thank you for being in that. I don't know, whatever. I'm catching what you're throwing out there.
Yeah. It was really interesting because we had plans to meet today, actually, to do this, to speak together and have an interview. And I saw her at the restaurant, and I was like, is that her? So I asked Shannon, I was like, is that her? And yes, it was her. So today we're going to talk about her healing journey, my healing journey.
Yes.
We're just going to flow. We're going to talk about how life just starts to miraculously and magically start to make sense when we heal ourselves.
Yeah.
It's still a big mystery, but things start to fall into place. Things start to happen very organic, powerful ways when we're trusting too, when we trust life, when we're trusting our body, when we're trusting each other in this great journey. So welcome, Queen Yvonne.
She just freaks me out by the word trust. I'm still figuring out different levels of trust, but yeah, trusting myself for sure.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit. I mean, you had to have a lot of trust to come to Playa.
Oh my God.
How did you end up here? And how long ago?
So I ended up here because I have she's my angel. She's my fairy godmother, I think. For sure. She loves to travel, and she said to me, I was not feeling well. I was brain foggy. I was like complaining a lot, and I don't like to complain. And I was complaining so much. And when I think about it, I remember my body was so cold. And she's like, you know what? You should just come with me and watch my cats, like stay a month. And at that point, I would never want to. I have a delicious, gorgeous husband. And I'd be like, no, like, I don't know. But I was like, yes. I mean, I like to help people. So I said yes, because I would help with the cats. And then, so at that point, I was like 23 pounds heavier than I am now. I couldn't think. Also, just to add, several months before that, my body had fasted me for 3.5 months, and everyone's like, "You'd be dead." And I don't know, I guess so, but somehow I'm not. I'm very much alive and robust. But yeah, there was a lot of staring at the ceiling for hours. I wasn't hungry. And then eventually by month 3.5, I was like, oh, I'm a little nervous. Like, I don't feel well. And a good friend of mine from high school who's a doctor, he's like, you gave me some ideas. And then he's like, you should go to urgent care. So I had, and nobody knew anything about, like, they're like, oh, maybe you have like some gut issues, and the guy was like so sweet. I'm like, just any guy examining me. Like, what do you have? I don't know what he's called. A doctor dude, and the attending nurse maybe, and he's like, he has diverticulitis, and I was like, well, what's that, and what do you do? And he takes medication, and he just looked down, and he's like, I don't know. It's really uncomfortable. I was like, I don't know. That doesn't sound like me. But eventually I got myself to like walk. Oh, I had that like the virtual doctor calls, and the one specialist, I forget what it's called because obviously it doesn't matter. She was like, you need to go out and walk. You have to walk. You need to get 10 minutes of exercise every day or 20. And I was like, no, I don't want to. But I knew she said, I was like, okay, fine, I'll go. So I started to take walks, but no more than like 5 or 10 minutes because I'd have to come back and go to the bathroom, like pee. So that was frustrating, but eventually, let's see, that was like May, and August came, and I kept saying to myself, oh, you know, I want to go teach with my friends at the park and give fitness classes with her. And she's like, come on, let's go. And I was like, finally, my energy, I had enough energy to walk around the park, which is about 3 miles, in Prospect Park, Brooklyn, about 3 miles or so. And yeah, so I was getting my energy back. But then Crazy Town happened, and like I just gained this weight. So that's going back to how I got to my 23-pound overweight and brain fog and staring at the ceiling. I was like, the aliens just took me. I'm like, where did I go? So then yeah, and I was in a spiritual business program, and I learned about Dr. Moore's protocol. Worked with a cardiologist, and I did a herbal healing. All to come back to say that I was not good, and my friend was like, come watch my cats, and I ended up in Mexico, which was a total blessing. Yeah, that was an adventure.
Yeah, that's so interesting how that happens. You know, how you get called to a certain place, how you get called to a certain healing modality. You know, we don't really plan on these things to happen, but you were having a major breakdown in your life, and your body was just like, enough is enough. You know, when we look to nature too, we look to animals that get sick, that don't feel well. That's the first thing they do. They just go in a little corner, and they, you know, they're like, they don't eat. They stop putting anything in their body so that they can expel whatever needs to be expelled.
And the body has to eat the cells and fast.
Yeah.
So, and we don't understand that our body, we're so overstimulated. Did I talk over you?
No. Go ahead.
We're so overstimulated that we can't actually hear what our body is telling us, even anxiety and overwhelm. So those were some other things that I was having. It's actually speaking to us, and we can't tell. So like overstimulation would be caffeine, sugar. I didn't know. I was like, what do they call it? Or what's it called? Like I was a junk food athlete for sure. So salts, caffeine, oils, what else?
All animal products,
Animal products.
Dairy, alcohol.
Yes, fermented.
all of
Yeah,
that.
anything fermented actually stimulates us. Something that I learned from my specialist is that the adrenal gland gets a bump in the steroid. That's where we get our energy. So when I was looking for energy, I would go to caffeine, and I would go to sugar. And if I really get quiet in myself, when I did, and I realized what I was really getting was like more anxiety, which is so, and it was a craving, and I didn't actually understand that I was going into a loop, like this type of stimulation loop. And wow, like how incredible is that? Like our body hormones, like if we consistently don't know what we're putting in our mouth and how that feels, we can totally mess with ourselves. And I've eliminated anxiety. I've eliminated a lot of things, so that helped me to calm it down. I don't know where were we. Sorry.
It's okay. We're all over. There's no particular, you know, we're just flowing and we're talking, and the power of fasting. A lot of people wonder, and also to recalibrate the taste buds in the mouth. You know, sometimes people wonder, like, oh, how can I adopt a plant-based lifestyle, or how can I, you know, change my habits? It's so hard. And I think fasting, juicing, whether it's a water fast or a juice fast, literally reprogram all of your taste buds, all of your cravings, gets rid of parasites too that are often responsible for a lot of these cravings.
And what the fuck are parasites? I have a potty mouth. Sorry.
Queen Jenny could tell us a thing or two about parasites.
Oh
She's on.
God.
Hi, Queen Jenny.
Hey.
Hey, love. Tell us a little bit about, your juice cleanse. She's like 170 days. Correct me if I'm wrong, on a juice cleanse.
Like, great on you.
Yes.
And I'm sure, I mean, there's so much to learn from everyone's experience. So Jenny, you were in the loop with coffee too. Like, people don't understand. They're like, oh my God, I have like so much anxiety. And like we keep producing that. One of the things that I also learned, I know you're a specialist at it, so definitely check out Aileen and get in a connection and conversation with her because she can guide you. She's got a lot of years experience. So one of the oh man, lost my train of-
Coffee, stimulation with coffee.
the stimulation with coffee. I wouldn't want to ever. Well, I'm like having a guilty moment, but yeah. So one of the things I used to do was I used to eat. Gosh, I wish I could remember what the word is. So the last time I ate like this pattern. Oh, I know what I was gonna say, a trauma loop. The last time I ate like this, I remember it was like during this COVID time where I had cheesesteak, wine. I like cheesesteak, white wine. What else would I have with that? Oh, and then like a milkshake. So what I would do would get really full and tired. And then I'd be like, oh, dessert to like stimulate me and wake me up. And I didn't get that, like, when we're eating like this, like we're digesting animal products that carry parasites. We have like cheese.
So much hormones and
So much-
antibiotics.
Yeah, I know I'm ruining this for a lot of people that love
No,
me.
it's okay. We're here to gently nudge, gently awaken,
nudge.
because all of our health problems can come down to our consumption, all of them, 100%. A cancer doesn't just pop up at the age of 50. So this information, as difficult as it may be to swallow for some people, and as hard as it is for us to share it sometimes, because we don't want to offend, we don't want to upset, we want to, but at the same time, it's like we care about people, and that's why we're doing this live. As hard as it is for both of us to come on screen, it's like, how can we share a journey as authentically as possible to hopefully inspire somebody to say, hey, wait a minute, I have control, I have the power over my life too. It's not about just like upsetting, but it's like, what do we do with that information? Like, look, we changed our life with that information. Like, I was upset too at the beginning when I found out that meat wasn't good for me. I was like, no, don't tell me that. I want to keep eating my cheese and my meat. But it's like, if I want to get healthier, I'm going to have to make those changes. So we're offering people a solution. They may or may not take it. They may or may not be happy about it. But there is a solution that I believe all doctors, all medical professionals should present to people to have that option. Okay, you could go the medical route, you could go the pharmaceutical route, or you can have a lifestyle change.
Yeah, but they get mad
presenting that.
money.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna go places I don't want to go.
No, but it is a business. It's a multi-billion, trillion-dollar business meant to keep people enslaved and
How about
entrapped.
those
It's not meant to
Stargate?
liberate people.
Yeah, I love those Stargates.
No, you're doing good work, and you being the change, being the example, is showing people that it's possible. You can change. Anybody can change.
Yeah, actually, I'm thrilled to meet you, and I can't wait to meet the other women on the calendar. And I have like incredible women that are really, really taking control of their wellness through healthy healing. And one day they're going to be such powerhouses to really help. I mean, also, like, it's so incredible because I'll be 49, and I just want to say hi to everybody.
I couldn't believe she was 49. When she told me that, I was like, no way.
This moment, I might look 1,000 tomorrow because like it's an Asian thing. Hey Pedro, hey Mark, Nancy, I just want to shout out and really appreciate that you're with us.
Yes.
There's Brad. Hey Jenny again. Queen Jenny. Carmen.
Let's talk a little bit about the calendar, right? Queen Tony, this is how we met, really. Queen Tony created this amazing calendar with 12 or a little bit more of our raw vegan queens, and we're in a calendar there to support dog rescue. She's in Thailand and she's been doing some amazing work with the dogs. I'm going to put the link right now in the chat. It's rawliciousyu.com. So Queen Yvonne is in there. You are month of December. I am month of February, and so many beautiful, amazing warrior goddesses that are
Bad
in there.
bitches.
Bad bitches. Sounds better when you say it. Sounds weird coming from me.
I know, you're so elegant. You're so elegant. It's so lovely.
That's good. We all have our own style. So relishitsyou.com. I'm going to put it in the chat. Check it out. I think it's in pre-order sales right now. But it's such a great initiative to help the dogs that she's been helping to rescue in the streets of Thailand.
I mean, but they're just so cute.
I know, they're so adorable.
They're so cute. I have some puppy faves. My mom has a puppy. My sister has a puppy. Awesome.
And hopefully
yeah, they better, you know, help some puppies too, besides their own.
Yeah, and you know, like these initiatives, these business ideas, these things to help elevate, you know, the frequency of the planet, like they've all come from us transforming ourselves. You know, Queen Tony has been on her own transformation. You've been on your own transformation. Now you want to serve others, you want to help others, you know, you have a mission. She also is an professional pole dancer, and she is helping people to, yes,
with like lap dances for like that are super like this. No, I'm not a stripper. But there's all a stripper inside of us. And so really it's taking women taking their femininity back. I just found that. Can I talk about that?
Yep, absolutely. Yes, definitely.
So where do I begin? All I know is I've been taking pole classes for many years, and we all show up there for different reasons. And what it leaves us with is like a sense of like power in our body and a sense of ourselves that just sometimes you don't even know that it was something that was missing. So for me, the trauma loop, I didn't realize that I was somebody who was this type A. I would never admit to it. I had to learn that I was really type A. I'm perfectionistic, and I was taught to do the right thing and do good things in exchange for love. And
as many of us do.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that poor person. Yeah. And so I didn't know that like cortisol, when you're stressed out, this cortisol gets released into your body and also produces a trauma loop in your system. So I had been in leadership work and for many years, so I was able to really get connected with my mindset, and boy, that is really amazing practice every moment, because it takes every moment at times. And I was just like so high strung. I definitely think that my diet did not help me, and I didn't know that. So eventually you get chronic fatigue and adrenal stuff and hormone stuff. And so this trauma loop of cortisol, I kept looking for more and to do the next thing and what could I be good at. And I walked into a pole studio one day and I had the most amazing experience of actually calming my nervous system. And for sure, I was like always looking for, before Brittany, because I'm older than Brittany, I was like always looking for my best Brittany bitch, like self, my bet, like where I would be empowered, like, do people like me? You know, do men think I'm hot? And then I was like, oh, well, one day I learned, I was like, oh, women think I'm hot too. But no matter what, I couldn't actually feel good about myself. I couldn't feel sexy. I couldn't feel like, and then I just couldn't feel. And this practice of this like sensual somatic yoga has been so incredible for me to ground. That I'll never give it up. And I totally want to support women to feel good in themselves and natural in themselves and right in themselves, you know. So giving permission to put ourselves out there first, because, you know, we all want to do the right thing and we're like caregivers in many ways and maybe like super empathic and, you know, and stuff to just, in a way, just, I don't even know. I just said a bunch of words, so rewind. Just to really get back and connect with our truth when we didn't know we even left it, but you feel it. You feel like a sense of brightness and non-doing. That's really the everything. Does that even make sense? Did I just say anything?
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
Perfect. perfect. It's like what I'm hearing is giving yourself permission to reconnect, you know, to those parts of yourself, like
and
that
feminine, quiet part of ourselves.
Yeah.
Which is like super sensual, and how like you will turn yourself on. You just turn yourself on. Is that more important? Like, isn't it hot when someone's like totally about themselves and they're like to be with you? But there's a confidence like that you don't question, and you're super present with somebody, and then you end up being like hot bitches next to each other. Queen. This is a queen.
Well, it reminds me a little bit. I went for a tantra class yesterday, my first tantra class ever. And it reminds me a little bit of what you're talking about. It's almost like the tantra soul, you know, it was about turning ourselves on, lighting ourselves up, and seeing that for ourselves without necessarily having anybody else there to do it for us.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about. And I think once we master that, then we start to attract a different kind of people, you know, a different kind of vibration that are themselves too, like working on themselves, learning to love themselves, learning to be their most sovereign and
it's
sensual.
Like, I mean, when you understand, I feel like I should have been ashamed for many reasons of myself. I should have been ashamed of my body just because I'm a woman, and my aspirations at the time, because I'm a lot older, my aspirations were, you know, you need to get an education. I say that like with a lot of anger and resentment. I mean, who doesn't want the best for their kids, right? But you need to get this education. You need to have like these degrees and certificates if you want to like be respected. My parents did so well, and
they just didn't know better. You know, they did what they could with what they had, and now we have the opportunity to go that next step and, you know, raise our consciousness and do all these things that they could have never even imagined doing. You know,
and that it's even possible. So, you know, okay, so as a woman, you have to cover yourself up. You know, you're going to attract the wrong kind of person. Are you asking for trouble? That men look at you only a certain way, and great, but like I need to look at myself a certain way, and I need to embody and like appreciate myself fully, not just as somebody who's like the most brainiac of them all and be lauded for it, even if I'm not. So I learned through my practices of my sensual yoga that I could just be enough, and that I could feel really great about myself, and that's really what matters. And then I get to enjoy pole classes with my pole girlfriends who are also mothers, and mothers who are like, my body was not my own, and I totally like had to, like, they make it to class and it's not even a question. So there's a shame about like sex work. I'm not doing sex work, but I love my body and I love my health, and I'm making myself a priority, and I want to support that for everybody and their truth, and
there's such a sorry, I think
Can I get that free?
my credit went out. I need to got on the Wi-Fi. I think there's a lot of misconceptions around what it is, you know, like pole dancing, but there's so much, you know, there's women doing pole fitness, there's competitions, like it's not necessarily what we have typically believed it to be. You know, I've seen, there's even a documentary on Netflix I started watching about this, so if we're interested in watching it, and it was like all these women coming from, you know, different backgrounds, different cultures, different traumas, and
different bodies.
Like
we
all different
think
body
the right
shapes.
body is supposed to be a certain way, and no, there are all sorts of strong bodies. You know, and we've been led to believe like the only sexy hot body is a particular way. So.
Well, I'm definitely breaking through some fears when it comes to this. I told her, I was like, I don't know if I'm ready. Like, I want to do it. And there's a part of me that's like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. This is a lot. This is a lot.
She's gonna do it because I'm doing it. And actually, like, I like to think I can influence people. So I've seen it on my Facebook. People get a little more naked, and I'm like, good job, Yvonne. Like, they're watching you, you know? Or like women will, you know, women DM me and they just like, I want your hair. Oh, so I'm covering it now, but they'll, you know, and like we stand for something. So I'm here for you, baby. I was like, full ass. Just give it full ass.
We shall see. I have a few more days here.
It's happening.
If it happens, you'll definitely see a picture or two.
Ooh, oh, it's happening. I love photos. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be honoring photos. You're gonna honor yourself. So, you know, the things that scare us. I'm talking about being scared. So I don't know how. I think I've been on Facebook 8 years. I was like, at first I had a different name. It was like cruise chick. I was like terrified. I was like, nobody likes me. I don't want, like, it just terrified me. Trying to give a picture and flavor of what that was like. I thought I was super creative because I'm like, oh, look, I'm on social media. And I put this artistic photo of myself that was total silhouette in a mirror and against this like incredible sky and this art, some art installation. And I promised myself that I would be consistent and show up on Facebook no matter how scared I was. And now, like, I'm dancing, I'm dancing with my legs open and stuff, not giving, and I am taking photos of myself. That for sure, like my grandmother, now that she's gone, would probably be like, "Yay, do you?" But my whole family just thinks I'm crazy anyway, which is probably a good sign. But now I'm willing to stand there in the bra and naked, naked-ish, because I don't want to be ashamed, and I don't want people to like judge themselves in a way. They're gonna judge themselves. I mean, people do what they do, right? I do what I do. We all do what we do. But to like be like, okay, well, she did it, and also it's kind of fun. Because then people just start doing things differently, or actually like think, like choose for themselves, like, yeah, nope, not gonna do that, or I'll try. And I think like art is supposed to make you feel something. So I'm an artist. And I made you feel something.
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely. And I mean, we could feel something by seeing a naked woman on a painting, you know.
My husband would be like, oh yeah, they feel something.
How does your husband feel about this?
So my husband's awesome and supportive, and he also chooses not to participate on my feed, and that's cool. So I accept it. He loves me, you know what.
Did he have any issues at the beginning with the male gaze that was maybe coming more into your life, and that kind of attention then that may bring about?
Well, I accept full responsibility for myself. So anything I do is for me to actually deal with for me. So I don't think I know that he understands that. That's great. Yeah.
Great to have a supportive husband like that.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not telling you his name. He's so cute.
That's so great. That's amazing. And so what else have you been discovering since you had your awakening a few years ago? Like, how has your life been transforming in terms of
So much.
even with the full, like what have been the ripple effects in your life from everything, your diet change, or sensual emancipation, all of that?
Sensual emancipation. I was like, that was gonna happen. That was like in the making for many years. Then I was just like going public. Here is my whole non-outfit outfit. I mean, now I like really wake up. Now that I'm coming on 3 years in the raw space. Wow, like I knocked myself off my feet. I was like, wow, I did that. So now I just understand more about hormones, and that the fruit sugars are different from the processed sugar, and how much our body and our brain really need the fruit sugars, and how cellularly hydrating, I said it, hydrating, yeah, I'm like spelling it in my head. Cellularly. I just thought of a cell phone tower. Oh, but the energy of the cells, you know, like that, like that just brought up tower for me. Anyway, it speaks to our neurotransmitters. And yeah, this was not happening a couple of years ago. So I was like literally like lying on the couch, staring at the ceiling for 8 hours a day. And then by the 8th hour, I was like, thank God, I can't wait to go to bed. And I would have the 1 hour in the morning to have energy. How long are we talking?
And look at you now. Look at all this energy.
Now I have so much energy.
Look at all this energy that you have. You're completely different.
I'm different. I sleep in a way that goes with nature. And because I'm taking on my business, I have like created new habits for myself, which is to go to sleep by 8. And I didn't realize it. Yeah. So go to sleep by 8, wake up at 5 in the morning. But while I was healing, with the cats woke me up around 5 to get fed. Anyway, yeah, so cute the ways they like wake you up. And well, Pineapple's a bitch. So Pineapple would like, if something was on the table, she'd knock it off, and then you'd like be like super angry, and that was like feeding time. So I wake up at 5, and I was like, I love that. I love that time of the morning. It's like other people are still asleep, and I'm like with the world. So and my friends and I would be in bed by 10 p.m. And I was like, this is amazing. But my body was really craving it. And so then I just started, I was talking to my specialist. I was like super bloated, full of candida, parasites, and like and so like still brain foggy and crying, like, how am I gonna work? I can't work like this. I don't know. And I was like frustrated and angry. It's like, I'm sorry, but it's a season, like you have to heal. I was like, I don't even fucking know what that means. Like heal. And so I had to heal my adrenals. So that's a chronic fatigue. And then so my body started to sync up with nature. But also I was getting the sun, and I had to go to the beach and float in the ocean. So I think I'd float in the ocean for like 30 minutes and then bask in the sun for another 30 minutes. That seemed to be the ritual. I needed the sun, and I needed the vitamin D from the sun. You get vitamin D from the sun, right? I think so. Yeah. Which maybe because D is for depression, so you don't get depression if you're right? Like postpartum moms, like if you're like depressed, like your body is on so much. And if you get some sun and not do the isolates thing, like your vitamins and stuff like that,
crucial.
Yeah,
it's so important, even to help the body to detoxify. The sun will help in every single way. Every single way. And people underestimate it. They're scared of the sun, but really,
we're so, I get it. If you're not supposed to be in the sun because you get burned, stop being in the sun. Or like wear a rash guard. Our bodies are so intelligent.
And also the cleaner we get, the more we can handle the sun. So like if you do get burnt really easily, change your diet. And then you'll be able to enjoy the sun more.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta work on both of them. But the more alkaline you are, the more you'll be able to handle getting a lot of sunlight.
But can you explain what becoming like there is an acidosis, right, that we create by what we eat? So that means that what we're consuming is creating, maybe you can speak more intelligently than me about that.
Probably not.
Mucus, like, okay, so mucus, right? What else? Like the gunk in your eyes, that's a detox. Dandruff is a detox. Mucus is a detox. So these are ways that our body is actually sloughing off the detox, and that. So from my camp, the camp that I like, the lymphatic system that is taught by Dr. Morse, that's somebody I like totally YouTube University myself on. Even though he's got his own things going on right now. I want to talk about that as a spiritual experience. But when your body is ridding itself of this mucus, then that's a detox. So you don't go out, you drink more juices, and the more acidic the juices that you can handle, the more detox or cleansing and is that more alkaline, you're
What
you're
we know,
consumption is.
what we interpret as sickness is actually your body healing itself.
Right.
Chandon talks about it all the time. He's the one that
I
feels
can't
it,
wait
but
to hear more. Yes, he's got excellent.
yeah, that is, it's a detox action from the body, ridding itself of the old waste and unwanted, you know, toxins that are in the body, the heavy metals, the pesticides, glyphosate, all of that coming out from
Like the psoriasis, like this dry
skin
skin.
issues.
Yeah,
Yes.
eczema.
And sometimes it gets worse. It often gets worse before it gets better. So if you are in a healing crisis, it's not because the juices aren't working. It's not because the fruit or the herbs aren't working. It's because your body is expelling what no longer wants to be, what you're allowing to release. So hang in there. We have a support community too. We have the Kings and Queens of Raw support community that Queen Yvonne is part of. So join us, ask questions, because a lot of us are going through it. All of us are healing. We need support. We need community. Sometimes we don't know what's going on with us. We're losing hair. We're getting breakouts.
Totally.
Like that's the body.
But what's a healing crisis? I was like, what's a healing? I've been through many. So one is I cut my face last October before I got to Mexico, and I had to get it stitched. It was a blue stitch. I passed out, and what was the point of that? This was part of my healing crisis. Was to like figure out like I had several things going on in which my body was fasting, and so it's not always cute, hot, or sexy, but for me it's totally worth it. So a healing crisis. Can you explain a healing crisis?
Healing crisis can range anywhere from feeling a little tired to a headache to full on emotional detox, starting to cry, or having even panic attacks sometimes. Repressed emotions may come up during a period of cleansing. It could be breakouts, it could be smelly armpits, I mean, there could be moments where you need to lay in bed for a few days at a time. It will look different for different people depending on the amount of medication they took, antibiotics, antidepressants, drugs, alcohol. So whatever level of toxicity within the body, it might reflect, it will reflect in the healing crisis. Skin issues, psoriasis, itchiness. I am currently in Playa del Carmen. King Bashir is asking if I'm in Belize. Heading back there soon. Yeah, I'm in Playa.
Valerie, hola Valerie, Oliver,
David, Oliver, for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us.
They're all watching, but it's just one. It's not weird. Facebook is so strange.
I don't know.
I don't believe that. I don't believe it. We like 20.
Gracias, Bashir.
Yeah, so
we're amazing. You're amazing. It's amazing to share this experience with people.
And let's share a little bit what has helped us get through those healing crises. Like for me, for the sun, like grounding in the earth has been super helpful.
Explain grounding, because like for me, I love this. My friend Haley said to me, she's like, Yvonne, you're like a city. What was it? Where are you, girl? You're like a Sex in the City. Like I'm a Sex in the City fruit person, because so I'm like grounding. Like I kind of get what that is. So tell us more. What does grounding mean?
Well, grounding means putting your feet into the earth.
Bare
feet,
naked feet.
Your hands, if you can get like on all fours, but definitely your feet for at least 20 minutes a day. To really get your feet.
And why?
To the earth. You want the scientific approach?
Yes,
oh, God.
Because please correct me if I'm wrong, but the earth, the charge of the earth, is it negative ions?
Exactly.
And so with there's another aspect that where we can be disconnected. We're these we're organic, like live organisms, right? And so we're natural.
And we're living in a world, like look at us bombarded. We have like 3 devices in front of us,
Our feet are covered skateboard.
Yeah.
These are great for skateboarding, by the way. The waffle bottoms, I'll never give them up, even though I'm not skating now. But
yeah,
so we take away connection to our natural experience of ourselves, right? So we become more disconnected spiritually. Our mindset, it really takes something. I don't know.
There's been reports and studies of people healing even from cancer, depression,
Yeah,
all different health issues just from grounding, 20, 30 minutes a day. So it's really, really powerful. It can have a profound influence on who we are. Yeah. King Justin says naked body.
Yeah,
that's right.
exactly.
Naked body. Lay on the ground.
We do. We need. I'm sensitive to wearing too much clothing as well. Like I really like the sun and I like the tropical weather. So for me, it's like no, not like. I mean, there are times like with my girlfriend, well, yeah, let's get naked, and it feels so rogue. Like it is rogue in this world where we've been taught to cover ourselves up, and it's so annoying. And we have a natural right to feel good. So yeah, nudie bodies, birthday suit, birthday suit parties.
So amazing.
Okay, so grounding.
Yeah. Breath work,
sleeping. Now, coming from the city and being the type A and wanting to be amazing, get lots of validation, and just being an overdoer is really rough on the nervous system. God bless the women who have families who do this. So please be sensitive to any of the women out there who are running businesses and running a household, and some of them are single parents, and they don't know that their hormones have been impacted, and they don't know about mindset, and they get their gumption together, they get their guts together, and like, I'm gonna fucking do this. But also they don't know that they need nature, and they don't know how to slow down, or they're on their period, and the period is a detox. And that shit's rough. That's really rough. So if you're a nasty dude or woman or whoever that's from, and you know this is coming, that you're getting hormonal, please just take good care of yourself, and don't pay attention. This is your opportunity to spiritually I don't know, spiritually pull yourself together and do something that you need to do to care for yourself, like sleep, drink distilled water, not any water. Hola Raja, strong bitches, strong queens. Kidding, I just like to say that.
Yeah, and even if you can only, change one meal a day, I always say addition by subtraction. Subtraction by addition.
I hate that.
You don't like that?
No, it's beautiful. I'm just you just said addition, subtraction. I was
sorry, add on some fruit, add on a salad to your meal.
But not just anyway. Okay, what's the tip? What's your pro tip about the fruit?
Eat more.
Okay, I have another pro tip.
Eat more fruit. Yeah.
So my pro tip that has brought me and nursed me back to health. I feel like mango juice is the nectar of the gods, because mango, it's out of season now. But the pro tip is go mono meal. Life is really simple. I remember when I first started this, actually, I changed my mind quickly. But anytime I used to cook, I used to be oh, what ingredients can I put together with this? And how can I also not make it just tasty, but beautiful? And the truth is, the simpler the meal, the healthier you'll be, because I love your man description. Our digestion cannot be diluted. So for me to recover, I did make smoothies at first, and then I got myself to a tropical area. And I simply eat actually at home, my husband will bring a bag of clementines, and I'll just eat a bag of clementines. I don't try to put anything else with it. but that's because that's my stage of healing. So fruits are the highest, like, then there are levels of fruits to heal yourself. Otherwise, people can totally enjoy themselves on a raw diet, but you got to properly combine that stuff so you're not creating fermentation in your gut. That can cause,
Yeah, definitely don't mix fruit with nuts, you know, study the proper food combining,
yes,
especially if you have, you know, certain digestive
issues.
sensitivities. Definitely, like, yeah, have a big meal of fruit and then a couple hours later have your salad. I like to have my salad with the nuts and the fat in the evening time, usually, especially when I was transitioning to raw fruit during the day, like rising with the only liquid, and then fruit, and then introducing the greens and the fat more in the evening to brown.
She's pro. I mean, hit her up or listen to her, because for sure, I'm only 3 years in. Thanks so much, Raja. I just want to say it cannot be diluted once you are it. So yeah, you cannot dilute your digestion. Also, I do an intermittent fast. I am not the same human being. I'm like, oh, I was in fitness all my life. So I was just like, I just listen to my body. I was one of those. But like intuitive eating. And so what's intuitive to me is intuitive for somebody else. But you want to get really intuitive is when you start to understand raw and like how you are in that. I'm like,
I don't think you could fully be intuitive or like trust yourself if you're addicted to these foods too. You know, like people are like, oh, I'm really honoring myself with this donut. And I'm like,
I don't know myself.
Okay, sometimes, sorry, I shouldn't say that. But certain foods, and I'm right there with you, right? Like I'm right there too. Like, okay, is this honoring myself or is this part of the addiction? Like I'm still figuring it out, but I think certain self-destructive behaviors could be dangerous and lead us down a rabbit hole if we haven't healed the underlying issues. I think a donut isn't bad in itself, but it can turn into the whole box of donuts. Like, it can turn into, you know, opening up that door for other addictions.
I know the word.
I have to be very careful.
The word is cooked food addiction.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have a cooked food addiction. So in my coming on 3-year journey of this, I when I cheat and my friends on Facebook don't see the pizza and they didn't see the coffee, I actually, so I have a really hot word that happens. Constipation. I actually understand now and I don't want to call it cheating, right? Like it's a learning experience. And so I don't have an appendix. An appendix, nobody knew about what it was for when I was growing up. And from my understanding, it's a lymph node to the bowel. So I don't have a certain genetic makeup at this point or whatever it is that I eliminate readily and well. So the best thing that actually works for me is fruit. And I take to fruit. I have a sweet tooth. I'm crazy about fruit. I love fruit. I don't need a lot. I'm so good with that. And sometimes, so I don't, but I'm also 3 years, so I'm not like bored of anything. I'm actually really so joyous to have like ripe fruit. So,
and the more we eat it, the more we appreciate it. We're gonna wrap it up a little bit.
We're wrapping it up.
I'm gonna go. I'm doing a sound. Someone is showing me some sound healing. Yeah, that just happened.
You gotta get a good gong bath. Like I've had a good gong bath. It's like reminds me of like being in a cartoon, like a Bugs Bunny cartoon, and they smack a gong and like you see like their hair and their ears, you know, all those lines. I like, and that's like how I feel. I'm like, all my cells are just like, I'm like binaural beats. I mean,
oh yeah,
it doesn't take much to take care of ourselves. It's really quite simple. I don't want meds.
No. Yeah, before you go to the meds, like try everything else. Try the sound healing, try the friends, you know, having community, having support. I always say the opposite of addiction is connection, because when we have each other, when we have friendship, when we have love, like we're actually feeling that void that we're trying to fill with the, substances. So get connected with others, get connected with nature, with animals. And the more we do these things, the more we crave them, the more we eat the fruit.
Girl.
Some people are like, oh, they're so,
Those
it's
are
so depriving to just eat fruit. But you're like, look how much you enjoy it. So the more we eat it, not as a side dish, but as a meal, the more we do that, the more we enjoy it.
Those are some next level pro tips. And it's been a process. So it's a process. Please share your community. I mean, there are so many people, and also I love connecting with people. On my IG, it's called Rebel. No, I changed it like a lot. So it's raw_rebel_love. So
Okay, let me write it down. raw_rebel.
Love. And I share the things that I am really passionate about, which are fruit and pole dance. And yeah, it's another account of mine that I'm nourishing now. So you're welcome to find me and connect with me there. And please, yes.
And you are creating a program as well. Tell us a little bit about that. It's a little sneak peek of what you're working on.
They're for the baddies out there that want to feel good in their natural, in their element, like naturally strong and really connect with their inner beauty. They might even just fall so in love with themselves that you find your soulmate. I don't know. It could work. It works. It works. So that is on Facebook, and it's called Full Method, and it's floor play. I think I'm really cute. Floor play for the girl next door. So if you're
is it already out? Is it out on Facebook?
Yeah, but I have questions. I have entry questions. You gotta know the password to get in. All right, because it's for the baddies out there, just to like get to be themselves and be authentic and raw. Like what else do I want to say about that? Oh yeah, like the girl next door is the one who's always doing the right thing. She's like the perfectionist. She's the caregiver, the empath. So what flavor of the girl next door are you, and how have you been holding yourself back from getting the things that you want that give you the confidence to go get what you want?
Wow, thank you so much for creating this for us and for, being your most empowered self so that we can learn from you, and that's what it's all about.
I want to teach people things that I get yelled at for sure.
I love it. Little minx.
I do.
Okay, well, I'm so excited, and thank you so much for this amazing talk. This has been really enlightening for all of us.
Swirling in the universe and just like ending up here. It's like really insane.
You're welcome. I was wondering too if I should even share. Sometimes I worry about sharing my location and things like that.
Don't tell.
But
I do not need weird ass creepy people in my life.
Yeah.
So no creepy people. I'm in for it. I'm totally in for like the next level, like loving yourself stuff.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sister. And I will look forward to all the amazing things that you are up to and doing. And
we'll be connected. Wait, there's a filter on here. We should do a filter. We're the ones with the like. Oh well, we have the background. Well, we already have the palm trees. I want like the ones for your animal ones. Do you know? Because we're so animalistic in nature.
The minion one.
The minion. Oh, are we minions? Are we that minionette?
It can be.
Wait. Why aren't you working? Do it. Oh wow.
I see that's an animal one.
Where?
I didn't know you could do that on a live.
Can we do a sexy match?
Okay, that's perfect. That's just amazing.
That is hot.
We're so cute.
Give it.
Okay, this one's available on Queen
right.
Yvonne's page only because no filter on this one here.
Look at you. All right.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.